Hey guys, want to do a video today, a little update video on a pair of JK boots, Fire Inlander. I got them back in January. I've been promising a 6-month review on them and whatnot. Unfortunately, that got halted. I had about month 5.5. I ended up getting injured, hurt my back, and wasn't even able. I started getting better. I wasn't even able at the time to put these on. I wasn't able to bend over to actually even lace them up, for that matter. Not any boot at all. I had to just resort to a pair of slip-ons. Then, after I got a little bit better, still couldn't get these on, so I said, let me go ahead and get another little pair of boots, little ankle boots or something like that, just to get me by. And I started wearing those, and for about a month and a half, I'd just been wearing those and just got used to wearing these and had these off to the side. And I didn't forget about them. It's just I just had gotten used to wearing another set of boots, and those boots started giving my feet some trouble. So I said, I just would walk by these, and I said, man, I need to get those back on my feet and get the review done and just whatever. But just kind of how it was just very odd that it just kind of, I was forced into not wearing these, got used to something else, and fell kind of right back into a place where a lot of people are with their boots and their footwear or whatever. They just kind of settle. Today, I walked by, I said, I'm putting these on. Hadn't had them on for a month and a half. They were so stiff because I don't do anything. I'll roll in some footage of how I clean them or whatever. All right, guys, I don't know how you clean your boots, but this is what I do. I've got a little brush like this. I just hang it on the workbench, come home every day. Boots are normally pretty caked up with mud and whatnot. Probably not gonna come out all that great, but just a bunch of wet grass and dirt just caked on them. Today was a real light day. But yeah, just get up here, this bad boy, just get all the heavy stuff off, and I don't ever get into a super deep cleaning. Just knock all the heavy crap off to get most of that wet dirt off of them, and that way hopefully they'll dry out a little bit better before the next day. But yep, I can get all this grass off my pants. I don't want shit getting in the laundry and all that, so just a real quick wipe down. Nothing ever really gets up top there, but you can wipe that down however too. So that's it. That's my cleaning process every day. Nothing special. But it's absolutely minimal. I don't put any waterproofing agent on there. No oils. No nothing. They go out to the job. They get wet grass and mud and dirt on them. Come home, brush them off, sit them in the sun for maybe even an hour with just the garage door up, and then the garage door goes down. These get ready for another day. And that was what they had gone through for about 5.5 months. And then they sat up, and man, I tell you what, they sat up and got like a rock. So so putting them on this morning I was like, wow, these bad boys are stiff, they are tight. But that's on me, just total neglect. So as far as a review goes, and as far as a product, holding up to the worst conditions, this is even more of a testament to JK and their quality. So for 5.5, almost 6 months of wear, we haven't had one seam come loose. I'll try to get these laces out of the way. We haven't had one seam come loose. Not one eyelet, not one hook has bent, come loose. All the stitching is fine. Not anything is out of place. The sole wear, I'd gotten the honey sole because I thought it'd be a little bit more comfortable. Like I said, this is the only pair of boots like this I've ever had from JK. I haven't had any other manufacturer that builds similar products or anything like that. So I can only let you know my opinions on this boot and this setup. So I wanted the softest option I could get. I wasn't worried about wear or anything like that, but I would say what I wish I would have done is showed you all some video of the sole, but you can get a pretty good idea that the depth of that rear lug there. I'm sorry about all the grass. I should have cleaned that crap off. Back here, that looks to be pretty good, but in the center here, there, I'd say we're about halfway. To be honest with you, I'd say we're probably right at halfway on wear. with 5.5, 6 months. We are wearing quite a bit more here in the centers than at the toe and at the rear. And the heel obviously is going to start to sweep back. The boots do take on a little bit of a, as you can see it right there, the toe starts to sweep up. For whatever reason, I'm sure it's got something to do with the heel forcing your foot not to be so flat, so it lifts the heel, so that puts more of the ball of the foot going down, causing this. When you've got that, naturally when you walk, you're going to be just right there in the center until you wear that flat, then the rest of the sole is going to get, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. Could care less about the soles wearing. I mean, I think 5.5, 6 months for the kind of work I do without any other problem with the boot, totally acceptable. I'd have no problem going in for a resole, you know, every 8, 9 months or a year. And actually what I would end up doing would probably be buy another pair of these boots, get them into rotation, let these guys dry up a little bit, like wear these a couple days. Now that they're halfway worn, get another pair into rotation. You know, you see just kind of alternate, so by the time these need to go off for a resole, those are out. The new set comes in, or the newer set, and just kind of do 2 sets like that. So I've already kind of got that in my head. Anyway, so sole wear, fine. No stitching, no anything. I'll show you the other boot too, just to let you know I'm not BSing you. All the stitching is 100% fine. And no separation with any of the layers of leather and rubber. The sole hasn't split. Not one thing. This rough out has held up, I mean, just fantastic. It's actually starting to kind of wear on the toe to where it's almost, I wouldn't say 100% slick, but it's definitely not as rough as what they were when they were brand new, but that's to be expected. But other than that, yeah. This had some kind of little fringe on it or whatever when I got them. I could care less about that, so I didn't like it, so I just cut it off. So people have asked, is this a whatever? I'm sure you can get them to just do it for you. I did it myself with some 10 snips or whatever I had in the garage. So anyway, the only thing that I probably am, like I said, other than just negligent care, no, you see how the heels are kind of wearing, just laying flat, but that's just how I walk. Everybody's going to have different there. One thing that I would probably suggest we all get into habit, at least I was anyway, come home, take one boot, you know, put it on this one, and that's what I was doing. I'd come home, unlace them, take this, and like start to pry just to get one boot off easy. And what I was already noticing was this little piece of leather back here. You can see I can almost do it. I mean, it's pretty soft, and you can bend it down. And I was like, man, if I keep doing that, I probably am going to cause an issue with these boots, and I'm going to be the one causing it. So that's probably something you shouldn't do. I've quit doing it. But just that leather on the other boot, I don't know why it's rolled up, but this one actually is rolled up, and you can't even get anything on it. And it's almost cupped. You can see how that one's kind of just cupped up in there, where this one's almost more like a little spur shelf. But yeah, but I was causing a little bit of premature wear there with that, just trying to get them off every day. And I've since stopped doing that. But after just a couple, just maybe even an hour, just wearing these things, they were super stiff. And within an hour, I was instantly reminded why this boot is going on my feet every day going forward. I mean, the comfort, hands down. I haven't found a boot, and probably I'm not going to look for another boot. You know, they've got the mold of my foot. Call them up, have them put in another order for them. You're just not going to find anything off the shelf that's going to fit like this. And I'll show some footage of me putting them on here in a minute. But I just wanted to go over just a quick couple close-ups. Like I said, the wear. I mean, nothing. I'm just totally happy with the purchase. You know, I don't have, like I said, I'm not going to do a pros and a cons kind of a thing. I mean, they're just ultimately durable, more comfortable than any boot. They don't claim to be, there's no like con, like, oh, they're not waterproof. Well, they don't claim to be any kind of waterproof. It's just a leather boot. I am relatively surprised at the thickness of the leather. They don't get as wet as I thought they would. So to me, it takes, by the end of the day, on real wet conditions, sure, you're going to get some moisture to your feet. No issue with that at all. It's just what it is. And other than being just maybe heavier than, I mean, some of these other boots, these little rubber boots you wear and all that, I mean, they're built like a tank. You could run this thing over with a tank and it's not going to do anything to it. There's got to be give and take. So they're going to be a little bit more heavy, but they're more durable. I mean, it's just what it is. So, but yeah, easily, would look into getting another pair into the rotation. But right now, I was reminded today that these things are just top tier. I'm just going to keep rambling. I'm not going to show you anything more than this. There's nothing. I mean, these things have been through just regular maintenance. In the summer, I do all kinds of lawn maintenance and landscaping. And when we slow down in the winter, I pick up tree work and clearing out little lots and stuff like that, ditch line work, all kind of stuff. So these have seen a lot of different environments out in the outdoors. I probably would not recommend these to anybody that just had to put tons of miles on a hard surface. If I had to walk all day on a hard surface, like, maybe in a shop or a factory or something like that, probably not. I mean, there's probably more comfortable options to where you don't need something quite like this. I would just, go away. I don't need something that durable either. If I'm just walking around a shop, doing that kind of work or whatever. Maybe you don't need the durability, so you'd probably trade a little bit of that for some more comfort. That'd be the only reason I would ever probably stray away from something like this. But even if you wanted to still wear these, maybe size up just a little bit and then get a different, maybe get like a little, some kind of insole, some kind of Dr. Scholl's thing or something like that. That's really the only thing I would say. All right, guys. I've had some people kind of request that I should do a little fit video or a fitment video and a lace up video and this and that. So just going to lace these boots up real quick. I've got JK sends them with their version of just some leather laces, and those are fine, but I've switched them out. I used to run paracord. Now I've got these, I think they're Rhino laces or something. I'll do something on these, but these are hands down the best laces I've ever even had. Just slide the boot on. I'm going to try to do this all kind of right here. What you're going to notice when you whip the boot, you can see how this got a little bit of a sweep to this heel. When you come into the boot, your heel's going to catch right about there, and it's going to be snug, 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 and then it's going to just snap right into that heel cup. And then once it's in there, you're locked in as you're ever going to be. So let's see if I can get this bad boy in. Right about there, then pop. Slides right down in there. You're good to go. You got this big, that's a lot. When I first got them, I was like, my God, that's a lot of extra material. And it is a lot of material. I've never had a boot, but maybe to allow your foot enough room to get down in there, it has to be that big. All I do, just get this tongue down like that, take it, pinch it, pull it all the way over one side, kind of do you a nice fold, let it run right up the center there, lay that guy down, take a lace, kind of start your process. All this stuff down here, right down at the toe of the boot, it never really comes all the way loose anyway. So once you're kind of locked in, that's going to look like what you start. You just start working up whatever side you want. Damn things out of there. But once you get these things laced up, you are good to go for the day. I've never had them come loose, untie, anything like that at all. They're initially snug. By the end of the day, they're hot. Mine are normally a little wet, so they're loose. Not loose, but they fit perfect. Then they dry up overnight, and then they kind of shrink down a little bit, I'm guessing. So in the morning, they're normally going to be tight. Now, I wouldn't say tight, but like I said, they're just tighter. Then you get them on, you walk around in them. I mean, your ankle, you got plenty of movement there. All this is just, I mean, it molds to your foot, man. That's all I can say. You're just not going to find anything that does what this pair of boots can do. I'm sure other manufacturers are similar, I can only talk about JK because that's the only pair I've had, and that's honestly the only pair I'm gonna have. But yeah, I mean, like I said, you got great articulation. It just totally wraps. I mean, I just don't feel any more secure than when I've had these on my feet. I mean, it feels like you could just when I take off into the woods or I'm on a job or anything like that, I never have to worry about these things letting me down at all whatsoever. So, right on this side, yeah, I mean, they have just outperformed any expectations I had. I had high hopes, and yeah, they have performed, exceptionally well. I would say that. I mean, at or above my expectations, and I don't know what else to say. But that's the fit of them. Once you get your foot down in there, it truly locks it into place. There's no sliding. There's no slipping. Initially, when I got the boots, there is just minimal break-in time. All this leather is super supple. Slide in. The footbed, it's already kind of shaped to your foot initially, but then you just kind of mold it with you stepping and wearing it in. And once they wear in, you're not going to be disappointed. I can promise you that. I'm definitely looking to get into another set, get these into a rotation. But yeah, that's it. Lacing, unlacing, no big deal. Not that anybody needs to see how to get in and out of them. Got 700 miles of laces. Look into getting a set of aftermarket laces if you need to, something that's your length. I'm pretty particular about that. Open the boot up, unlace it down, kind of get in here and kind of open this up. If you try to get out and this thing is still snug like that, not happening. Your foot is in that boot. You're gonna have to unlace them just a little bit, do that. Give them some room. Don't use your heel to, like I was saying in the other thing, don't use your other boot to come over here and start prying on it or anything. And then just slide out. You're good to go.